I'm staring at the empty cash register when the bell above the door chimes again. Another runner. Third one this week. The guy in room 204 left his key on the nightstand and vanished into the Atlanta winter, owing me $200 I'll never see. I light another cigarette and lean back in my chair behind the bulletproof glass, watching snow dust the cracked sidewalk outside the Magnolia Inn. The radiator coughs like an old man dying. Hell, maybe it is dying. Everything in this damn place is falling apart, just like me. 45 years old and I'm running a flophouse that my aunt left me because nobody else would take it. The inheritance that keeps on giving. Excuse me. I look up through the smoke haze. A blonde woman stands at my counter, dragging a suitcase that's seen better days. She's got these blue eyes that seem too bright for a place like this, and she's looking around like she's walked into a crime scene. You need a room? I stub out my cigarette. The cheapest one you have. Smart girl. Nobody comes to the Magnolia for luxury. I slide the registration card through the slot in the glass. $48 a night. Cash only. She counts out bills with manicured fingers. Doesn't match the worn suitcase or the careful way she's budgeting. Is this neighborhood safe? Safe as anywhere else in downtown Atlanta. Which isn't saying much, but I don't tell her that. The reviews online mention some issues. Then why'd you come here? She meets my eyes through the glass. Because I couldn't afford anywhere else. Honest. I like that. Most people who end up here lie about why they're here. Rich relatives visiting, temporary business stay, waiting for their apartment lease to start. All bullshit. This one's got backbone. Room 312. Elevator's broken, so you'll need the stairs. Of course it is. She takes the key. I'm Stella. Margaret. Try not to die on my stairs. She almost smiles at that. Almost. I'll do my best. I watch her struggle with the suitcase toward the stairwell, her blonde hair catching the fluorescent light. Something about her makes me curious, which is dangerous. Curious gets you attached. Attached gets you hurt. The radiator coughs again, and I light another cigarette. Just another runaway looking for somewhere to hide. They all leave eventually. But damn if those blue eyes don't stick in my head long after she's gone upstairs. 2 days later, I'm in the basement trying to fix the damn water heater when I smell something burning. Not cigarette burning, real burning. The kind that means trouble. I drop my wrench and run upstairs. Smoke's pouring out from under the kitchen door, thick and black. The ancient fire alarm finally decides to work, screaming like a banshee through the whole building. Shit. I grab the fire extinguisher from behind the front desk and start banging on doors. Fire! Everyone out! Most rooms are empty anyway, but there's old Mr. Chen in 308 and that blonde translator in 312. Stella. The stairs are already filling with smoke when I reach the third floor. Stella! I pound on her door. We need to move. She opens it immediately, fully dressed like she was expecting disaster. Smart girl. How bad? Bad enough. Help me with Mr. Chen. The old man's door is locked. I use my master key while Stella coughs into her sleeve. Mr. Chen's sitting on his bed in pajamas, confused and scared. Come on, sweetheart. I take one arm while Stella takes the other. We're going for a walk. The stairwell's a nightmare. Smoke everywhere, that damn alarm screaming, and Mr. Chen moving slower than molasses. Stella stays calm though, talking to him in what sounds like Mandarin, keeping him focused on each step. I've got him, she says when I stumble. Watch the railing. Halfway down, Mr. Chen starts wheezing. We stop on the second floor landing, all three of us coughing like chain smokers. Leave me, he gasps. Like hell. I grab his other arm. Nobody dies in my hotel. Stella looks at me through the smoke, those blue eyes steady despite everything. Together. We make it outside just as the fire department arrives. The three of us collapse on the sidewalk across the street, breathing the cold December air like it's oxygen from heaven. Jesus. I'm shaking, whether from cold or adrenaline, I don't know. Stella shrugs out of her coat and wraps it around my shoulders without asking. Her arm stays there too, warm and solid against my back. Kitchen fire, I tell the fire chief. Probably the old gas line. The firefighters work for an hour before giving the all clear. Smoke damage mostly, they say. Could have been worse. A lot worse. Where will you stay tonight? Stella asks Mr. Chen. I call my grandson. He pats her hand. You good girl, both good girls. After he leaves in a taxi, it's just me and Stella standing in the snow, watching my hotel. Our hotel somehow. When did I start thinking of it that way? Thank you, I say. For what? Staying calm, helping with Mr. Chen, not running. She pulls her coat tighter around both of us. Where would I run to? Fair point. We stand there in the cold, two women with nowhere else to go, watching smoke drift from my broken windows. Her shoulder fits perfectly against mine. Margaret? Yeah? Your hotel might be falling apart, but you're not the kind of person who abandons people. I don't know what to say to that. Nobody's called me good in a long time. The next morning, I'm sitting in my smoke-damaged kitchen with a cup of instant coffee when Stella knocks on the door. She's carrying a laptop bag and wearing the same clothes from yesterday. Insurance forms, she says, setting down a stack of papers. I used to translate legal documents. Figured you might need help. I look at the forms, then at her. Why? Because you saved Mr. Chen's life, and nobody should have to fight insurance companies alone. She sits across from me at my tiny table, opening her laptop. Her fingers fly across the keyboard while I pretend to read the damage estimates. Really, I'm watching her work. The way she bites her lip when she's concentrating, how her blonde hair falls forward when she leans over the screen. They're trying to lowball you, she says after an hour. The smoke damage alone is worth 3 times what they're offering. Doesn't matter. I can't afford to fight them. You can't afford not to. She turns the laptop toward me. Look, I found precedent cases. Hotels with similar damage got full settlements. I study her face. What's your angle here, Stella? No angle. Maybe I like helping people who don't ask for it. The coffee's gone cold, but neither of us moves to make more. The kitchen smells like smoke and old grease, nothing romantic about it, but sitting here with her feels different than sitting alone. I never wanted this place, I admit. My aunt left it to me because she didn't have kids and I didn't have anywhere else to go. Where were you before? Phoenix. Had a different life there. I light a cigarette, offering her one. She shakes her head. What about you? What brought you to Atlanta? Work, fresh start. The usual reasons people move to new cities. Bullshit. Nobody chooses Atlanta for a fresh start. She laughs, and it changes her whole face. You're right. I was running from something too. What? A life that wasn't mine anymore. We sit in comfortable silence after that. The insurance forms spread between us, her laptop humming softly. Outside, Atlanta traffic honks and rumbles, but in here, it's just us and the lingering smell of smoke. Stella? Yeah? Thank you. For staying. For helping. She reaches across the table and touches my hand. Just briefly, but long enough for me to feel how warm her skin is. We all need someone to stay, Margaret. Later that night, she's still in the kitchen, working on my insurance claim while I try to fix the broken cabinet door. The overhead light flickers every few minutes, casting shadows that dance across her face. There, she says, hitting save. Tomorrow we call them with the new numbers. We? If you want help, I mean. I put down my screwdriver and really look at her. Blonde hair messed up from running her fingers through it. Blue eyes tired but determined. She's been here 2 days and she's already fighting my battles. Why are you really here, Stella? In my kitchen, in my life? She closes the laptop slowly. Because when you wrapped your coat around me in the snow, I felt safer than I have in years. The words hang between us like smoke. I should say something, but all I can think about is how close she's sitting. How her lips part slightly when she's nervous. Margaret. Yeah? But instead of answering, she leans forward and kisses me. Soft at first, then deeper when I don't pull away. She tastes like coffee and possibilities. When we break apart, she's looking at me like she's surprised herself. I should go back to my room, she whispers. Should. But neither of us moves. The broken cabinet door hangs open behind us, and the light flickers one more time. Everything in this place is falling apart, but right now, with Stella's hand still touching mine, it feels like maybe something's finally coming together. 3 weeks after the fire, Stella's made herself at home in my lobby. She's got her laptop set up on the old check-in counter, translating documents for clients while I patch holes in the walls. The insurance money came through, thanks to her persistence with those damn forms. "You missed a spot," she says without looking up from her screen. I turn around, paintbrush in hand. "Where?" "Behind you. Left side." She's right, of course. She's been right about everything lately. Which insurance adjuster to call, which contractors to avoid, which coffee tastes less like dirt. It's annoying how good she is at fixing my life. "You don't have to work from down here," I tell her. "Your room's got better light." I like the company. The way she says it makes me stop painting. She's wearing jeans and a sweater that brings out her blue eyes, blonde hair pulled back in a messy bun. Professional but comfortable, like she belongs here. "Besides," she adds, "someone needs to keep you from painting over the electrical outlets." That happened once. Twice. Yesterday and today. I throw my paint rag at her. She dodges, laughing, and the sound fills up the empty lobby like music. When did this place start feeling less like a prison? That evening, I find her in the storage room behind the front desk, organizing 20 years of guest records. She's singing something soft under her breath, some song I don't recognize. Her voice is prettier than I expected. "You don't have to do that," I say from the doorway. She looks up, startled. "I was just trying to help. These records are a mess." "Everything here's a mess." "Not everything." She stands up, brushing dust off her jeans. "The lobby looks good. The insurance settlement was fair. Mr. Chen came by to check on you." "That's not what I meant." We're standing close in the narrow storage room, surrounded by boxes and old furniture. The single bulb overhead casts everything in warm yellow light. Stella's looking at me like she's trying to solve a puzzle. "What did you mean?" Instead of answering, I reach up and pull the elastic from her hair. Blonde waves fall around her shoulders, and she doesn't step back. "Margaret, tell me to stop." She doesn't. So I kiss her, deeper this time than in the kitchen. Her hands find my waist, pulling me closer until there's no space between us. She tastes like the peppermint gum she's always chewing. "We should talk about this," she whispers against my lips. "Later. People might see. There's nobody here but us." She laughs, and I feel it against my mouth. There's never anybody here but us. Good point. I lead her upstairs to my apartment above the hotel. It's small and cluttered, nothing fancy, but it's mine. She looks around at my books, my records, the plants I somehow haven't killed yet. "This is nice," she says. "It feels like you. Messy and falling apart. Lived in. Real." She sits on my couch, and I sit beside her, close enough to smell her shampoo. Vanilla and something floral. "Stella? Yeah? What are we doing?" She takes my hand, threading our fingers together. "I don't know, but I like it. Even though I'm older, even though this place is a disaster, especially because of that." She turns to face me fully. "You're not pretending to be someone else. You're just Margaret, running a broken hotel and trying to fix things one room at a time. That's not very romantic. It's perfect." When she kisses me this time, it's different. Slower, more deliberate, like she's memorizing the taste of me. Her hands are warm on my face, and I realize I'm shaking. "Hey," she says softly. "We don't have to rush anything. It's not that. It's just been a long time since someone wanted to stay. I'm not going anywhere, Margaret." The words settle between us like a promise. Outside, Atlanta hums with late-night traffic, but in here it's quiet except for our breathing. Stella curls up against my side, her head on my shoulder. "The hotel's going to be beautiful when we're done with it," she says. "We?" "If you want." I look down at her blonde hair, at the way she fits perfectly against me. "Yeah, I want." 2 months in, and money's getting tight again. The insurance covered repairs, but not lost revenue. I'm staring at the bills when Stella comes downstairs with her laptop bag. "I found something," she says. "Evening work. Downtown gay bar needs a translator for their international clients." "You sure about that?" "It's good money, Margaret, and it's just 3 nights a week. I don't like it, but we need the cash. The magnolia's looking better every day, but pretty walls don't pay the electric bill. Be careful, I tell her. Downtown gets rough after midnight. It's called Velvet. Nice place, according to the reviews. She kisses my cheek before leaving, and I watch her walk down the street until she disappears around the corner. Something about this feels wrong, but I can't put my finger on what. The call comes at 2 a.m. Stella's voice, shaky and breathless. Margaret, can you pick me up? What happened? Just come, please. I'm at the police station on Peachtree. I throw on clothes and drive downtown, my hands gripping the steering wheel too tight. The police station's buzzing with activity even at this hour. I find Stella sitting on a bench, still in her work clothes but disheveled. Hey. I sit beside her. Talk to me. 3 guys tried to rob the bar, she says quietly. Came in waving guns around, demanding everyone's wallets and the register money. Shit. Are you hurt? No. Someone stopped them. She looks at me with those blue eyes, but they're different now. Scared. This woman Elena, she just appeared out of nowhere and took down one of the guys. The other 2 ran. Where's Elena now? Giving her statement. She saved everyone, Margaret. If she hadn't been there. I pull Stella against me, feeling how she's trembling. But she was there. You're safe. The police want me to come back tomorrow. More questions. We drive home in silence. Stella stares out the window at the empty Atlanta streets, and I can tell she's replaying everything in her head. Back at the hotel, I make tea while she sits at my kitchen table. Her hands are still shaking when she picks up the cup. Tell me about Elena, I say. Brunette, maybe 40? Really confident, like she deals with this kind of thing all the time. Stella sips her tea. She asked if I was okay, made sure I got to the police station safely. Something cold settles in my stomach. She just happened to be there? I guess. She was sitting at the bar when it happened. Alone? Yeah. Why? Just curious. But I'm more than curious. I'm worried. In my experience, people who can handle 3 armed robbers don't just happen to be in gay bars at 2 a.m. The next evening, Stella's getting ready for work again. She's putting on lipstick in my bathroom mirror, trying to act normal. Maybe you should take a few days off, I suggest. I can't. They need me, and we need the money. We'll figure something else out. She turns to face me. Margaret, I'm not going to let some random idiot scare me away from work. It's not about being scared. It's about being smart. Elena will be there. She said she'd keep an eye out for trouble. That cold feeling in my stomach spreads. She's going back? She's a regular, apparently. Look, I know you're worried, but I can handle this. She kisses me goodbye, but I can taste the tension on her lips. After she leaves, I sit in my empty lobby, smoking cigarettes and watching the clock. Every car that passes makes me look up, hoping it's her coming home early. At midnight, my phone buzzes. Text from Stella, Elena bought me a drink. Nice woman. Don't wait up. I stare at the message until the screen goes dark. Elena bought her a drink. A woman who can disarm robbers is buying my girlfriend drinks. I don't sleep that night. Instead, I stand at my window, watching the street and wondering what kind of person just happens to be in the right place at the right time to play hero. When Stella comes home at 3, she's smiling in a way that makes my chest tight. Good night? I ask. Elena's amazing. She speaks 4 languages, travels all over for work, very worldly. What kind of work? Security consulting or something. She was vague about it. Of course she was. I watch Stella hang up her coat, noting how she's glowing like she's had the best night of her life. She wants to take me to lunch tomorrow, Stella says. Show me some of Atlanta's nicer neighborhoods. Stella. What? Be careful with her. Why? She saved my life. Maybe. Or maybe she was exactly where she needed to be. Elena shows up at my hotel 3 days later, carrying expensive flowers and a bottle of wine that probably costs more than my monthly grocery budget. You must be Margaret, she says, extending a manicured hand. I'm Elena Vasquez. I wanted to thank you for taking such good care of Stella. She's stunning in that polished way that screams money and danger. dark hair, olive skin, wearing a leather jacket that fits like it was custom made. Everything about her says she doesn't belong in my run-down lobby. Stella's upstairs, I manage. Actually, I was hoping to speak with you first. We sit in my renovated lobby, and she looks around with the kind of appreciation that feels calculated. You've done beautiful work here, Elena says. Stella tells me you're restoring this place together. We're trying. She cares about you very much. Talks about you constantly. The way she says it makes my skin crawl, like she's studying me, looking for weaknesses. What do you want, Elena? Direct. I like that. She leans forward. I want to make sure Stella's safe. This isn't the best neighborhood for someone like her. Someone like her? Innocent, trusting, beautiful. Before I can respond, Stella comes downstairs wearing a dress I've never seen. Something expensive and fitted that makes her look like she belongs in Elena's world instead of mine. Elena! Stella's face lights up. You're early. I brought gifts. Elena hands over the flowers and wine. For both of you. I watch Stella smell the flowers, her blue eyes sparkling with delight. When did I stop making her look that happy? We should get going, Elena says. Our reservation is at 7. Where are you taking her? I ask. The Ritz. They have an amazing rooftop restaurant. Of course they do. I look at Stella in her new dress, then at Elena with her expensive everything, and feel like I'm watching someone steal my life. After they leave, I sit alone with Elena's wine, and try not to think about Stella laughing at some rooftop restaurant, while Elena buys her more things I can't afford. They come back after midnight, Stella glowing, and Elena looking satisfied. Margaret, you should have seen the view, Stella says, practically bouncing. The whole city spread out below us. Sounds nice. Elena's offered to help with the hotel renovations. She knows contractors, investors. I bet she does. Elena smiles at me, all teeth. I'd love to help however I can. The next morning, I find Stella in the kitchen, making coffee with beans that definitely didn't come from our grocery budget. Elena gave them to me, she explains. Colombian. Single origin. Of course she did. Margaret, what's wrong? You've been strange since she showed up. Nothing's wrong. I just think you should be careful. Careful of what? She saved my life. She's helping us. She's been nothing but generous. That's what worries me. Stella sets down her coffee cup hard enough to slosh. You're jealous. Damn right I'm jealous. Some rich woman swoops in, and suddenly you're wearing designer dresses and eating at the Ritz. So what if I am? When's the last time you took me anywhere nicer than the diner down the street? The words hit like a slap, because she's right. I can't compete with Elena's world, and we both know it. Stella. No, Margaret, I get it. You think I'm some charity case who should be grateful for whatever scraps you throw me. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? Instead of answering, I grab her face and kiss her hard, tasting the expensive coffee on her lips. She resists for a second, then melts against me. This, I say against her mouth. I meant this. We stumble upstairs to my apartment, pulling at each other's clothes. On my bed, Stella's skin is warm and soft under my hands, and she sighs my name like a prayer. When she arches beneath me, when she pulls me closer and whispers that she needs me, Elena's expensive gifts don't matter anymore. This is ours. This is real. Afterward, we lie tangled in my sheets, and Stella traces patterns on my chest. I'm not going anywhere, she whispers. Elena's nice, but you're the one I want to wake up next to. Even in this falling apart hotel? Especially here. She looks up at me with those blue eyes. This is home, Margaret, your home. I want to believe her. But when my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number, my blood goes cold. She's not who you think she is. We need to talk, Elena. I delete the message before Stella sees it, but the damage is done. Whatever game Elena's playing, it's just getting started. I meet Elena at a coffee shop across town, far from the hotel and Stella. She's already there when I arrive, sitting in a corner booth wearing sunglasses indoors like some kind of spy movie cliché. Thanks for coming, she says, sliding a manila envelope across the table. I don't touch it. What's this about? Your girlfriend's in danger, Margaret, and so are you. From who? From the man who's been hunting you for 3 years. My blood turns to ice. I don't know what you're talking about. Elena opens the envelope and spreads photos across the table. Pictures of me in Phoenix, in Tucson, in Dallas. Pictures of David, my ex-husband, at airports and hotels. Recent pictures. David Mitchell. 38 years old, multiple assault charges, suspected of killing his first wife. Elena's voice is clinical. He's been tracking you through credit cards, employment records, hotel registrations. How do you know all this? Because I'm a federal agent, and David's been on our radar for 2 years. Money laundering, racketeering, murder. We've been building a case. The coffee shop spins around me. You're a cop. FBI. And David found out about Stella 3 weeks ago. She slides another photo across the table. Stella leaving the gay bar, Stella at the grocery store, Stella walking into my hotel, all taken with a telephoto lens. He's been watching her. Watching both of you. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Because we needed David to make his move. He's careful, Margaret. 3 years we've been chasing him, and he always stays just out of reach. I stare at the photos, my hands shaking. The robbery at the bar. That was him? No, that was random. But it gave me the perfect excuse to get close to Stella, to protect her without blowing my cover. Protect her from what? Elena leans forward. David's not just looking for you anymore. He knows about Stella, and he's going to use her to get to you. When? Soon. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We have surveillance on the hotel, but he's smart. He'll find a way in. I think about Stella back at the hotel, probably working on her laptop in the lobby, completely unaware that my past is about to destroy her future. What do you want me to do? Leave, both of you, right now. We have a safe house in Birmingham, federal protection until we can arrest him. And abandon everything? The hotel? Our life? Margaret, your life won't matter if you're dead. I look at the photos again. David in Atlanta airport yesterday. David parked outside a hotel that looks suspiciously like mine. David with a gun in his hand. He'll never stop, will he? No. Men like David don't stop. They escalate. The truth hits me like a physical blow. I've been running for 3 years, thinking I was protecting myself. But I was really protecting everyone around me, and now I've failed. Stella doesn't know about David, I admit. She needs to, tonight. She'll leave me. Maybe, but she'll be alive to make that choice. I drive back to the hotel in a daze, Elena's photos burning in my jacket pocket. The late afternoon sun makes everything look golden and peaceful, like the world isn't about to end. Stella's in the lobby, just like I knew she'd be. She looks up when I walk in, smiling that smile that makes my chest tight. How was your mysterious coffee meeting? We need to talk. Something in my voice makes her close her laptop. What's wrong? I sit beside her on the couch I bought when we first started fixing this place up. Back when I thought we might actually have a future. My name isn't really Margaret Wilson, I begin. By the time I finish telling her about David, about Phoenix, about the 3 years I've spent running, Stella's face has gone pale. So, Elena's a federal agent, she says quietly. Yes. And your ex-husband is a murderer. Yes. And he's coming here to kill us both. That's the plan. Stella stands up and walks to the window, looking out at the street we've called home for months. Why didn't you trust me enough to tell me? Because I knew you'd leave. You don't know that. Don't I? She turns to face me, and I can see the battle in her blue eyes. Fear versus love, safety versus loyalty. I need time to think, she says finally. We don't have time. Elena says we need to leave tonight. Then maybe you should go. The words hit me like a physical blow. Stella, I can't do this, Margaret. I can't spend my life running from your ghosts. So that's it? You're choosing safety over us? I'm choosing to not get killed by a man I've never met for crimes I didn't commit. She's right, and I hate her for it. Hate her for being smart enough to save herself when I'm too selfish to let her go. I love you, I say, because it might be the last time. I love you too. But love doesn't stop bullets. Stella packs her things that night while I sit in the lobby, chain smoking and watching the street. Every car that passes could be David. Every shadow could be my death walking toward me. Where will you go? I ask when she comes downstairs with her suitcase. Elena offered me a place to stay until this is over. Of course she did. Even now, the federal agent's still protecting Stella better than I ever could. And after? I don't know, Margaret. I honestly don't know. She stops at the door, looking back at our renovated lobby. The walls we painted together, the furniture we picked out, the life we built in this broken place. For what it's worth, she says quietly, these were the best months of my life. After she leaves, the hotel feels like a tomb. I walk through the empty rooms, remembering how she looked in each one. Her laptop on the front desk, her coffee cups in the kitchen, her laughter echoing off the walls. At midnight, my phone rings. Elena? He's here, she says. 3 blocks away, sitting in a black sedan. My team's in position. What do I do? Stay put. Let him come to you. We'll take him when he makes his move. And if something goes wrong? Nothing's going wrong. This ends tonight, Margaret. I hang up and pour myself 3 fingers of whiskey. If I'm going to die in this hotel, at least I'll die drunk. An hour later, I hear the front door chime, footsteps in the lobby, a voice I hoped I'd never hear again. Hello, sweetheart. David stands in my doorway, older than I remember, but just as mean. He's got a gun in his hand, and that same cold smile that used to make me flinch. Miss me? Not particularly. Funny. I missed you every single day for 3 years. He steps into the lobby looking around. Nice place, very homey. Where's your little friend? Gone. Liar. I saw her leave with that federal agent. Did you really think I wouldn't figure out they were watching me? My blood goes cold. What did you do? Me? Nothing yet. But your girlfriend and her new friend are having a very interesting conversation in a warehouse across town. He's lying. He has to be lying. Elena's FBI, David. You can't just disappear federal agents. Watch me. He pulls out his phone and shows me a photo. Stella and Elena tied to chairs in what looks like an abandoned building. Here's how this works, David says. You come with me, and they live. You don't, and well, accidents happen in empty warehouses. You're bluffing. Am I? Want to test that theory? I look at the photo again. Stella's eyes are wide with terror, and there's blood on Elena's forehead. This is real. What do you want? What I've always wanted. My wife back. I was never your wife. I was your prisoner. Semantics. He waves the gun casually. You have 30 seconds to decide. Come with me, or they die. I think about Stella in that warehouse, scared and hurt because of me. About Elena, who risked her career to protect us. About the life I thought we could build in this broken hotel. Okay, I say. I'll come. Smart girl. He's walking toward me when the windows explode. FBI agents pour through the front door, shouting commands, red laser dots dancing across David's chest. Drop the weapon. Federal agents. Get on the ground. David spins toward the door, raising his gun, and I dive behind the front desk. Gunshots echo through my lobby, loud as thunder, shattering everything we rebuilt. When the shooting stops, David's on the floor, not moving. Blood spreads across my freshly painted walls. Clear. Suspect down. Elena appears beside me, helping me to my feet. She's got a cut on her forehead, but she's alive. Where's Stella? I ask. Safe house. She was never in danger, Margaret. The photo was fake. What? We needed David to think he had leverage. The warehouse, the kidnapping, all staged. I stare at David's body, then at the bullet holes in my walls. Is it over? It's over. But it doesn't feel over. It feels like everything I built here just died with David. That night, Stella comes back to the hotel. She finds me sitting in the damaged lobby, drinking whiskey and surveying the wreckage. Margaret. Hey. She sits beside me on our bullet-riddled couch. Elena told me what happened. How you were willing to sacrifice yourself. Fat lot of good it did. You were going to die for me. I was going to die for us. She takes the whiskey bottle from my hands and drinks straight from it, wincing at the burn. The hotel's ruined, she says. Yeah. We could rebuild it. We? If you want. I look at her sitting in my destroyed lobby, blonde hair catching the light from the one unbroken lamp. After everything that happened, after all the lies and danger and death, she's still here. I say. She leans over and kisses me, tasting like whiskey and promises. Outside, Atlanta sleeps peacefully, unaware that two women just chose love over safety in a bullet-riddled hotel lobby. Tomorrow we start over, Stella whispers against my lips. Tomorrow. But tonight, we make love in my apartment above the wreckage, holding each other like the world might end again at any moment. Because maybe it will, but at least we'll face it together. The insurance adjuster takes one look at the bullet holes and shakes his head. Act of God, he mutters, scribbling on his clipboard. Or act of federal law enforcement. Either way, you're covered. 6 months later, I'm standing in the same lobby where David died, but everything's different. New walls, new floors, new furniture. Stella's behind the front desk, checking in our first real guests since the shooting. Welcome to the Magnolia Inn, she tells a young couple from Tennessee. Your room's on the 2nd floor, and breakfast is served until 10. They take their keys and head upstairs, looking around at our restored lobby with appreciation. We kept the original character but added modern touches. Safety glass in the windows, better lighting, a security system that actually works. Not bad for a couple of amateurs, Elena says from the doorway. She's become a regular visitor since the case closed, bringing us referrals and occasionally helping with repairs. Turns out federal agents know a lot about construction. How's retirement treating you? I ask. Better than chasing murderers across 3 states. She hands Stella a bottle of wine. Housewarming gift. The real kind this time, not the fake evidence kind. Thanks. Stella laughs. We'll save it for a special occasion. What's more special than this? She's right. The hotel's booked solid for the next month. Mostly word of mouth from satisfied guests. Stella's translation business is thriving, and she works from the lobby just like before. Some things don't need to change. After Elena leaves, I find Stella in the kitchen, making dinner for the guests who requested meal service. She's wearing an apron over her jeans, hair pulled back, humming that same song I heard her singing months ago. Need help? Almost done. She looks over her shoulder at me. How does it feel? What? Being free, really free, for the first time in 3 years. I consider the question. David's dead. The FBI closed their case. My real name's on the deed to this hotel now, Margaret Foster instead of Margaret Wilson. No more running, no more hiding. Terrifying, I admit. Why? Because now I have something to lose. She turns around and kisses me, tasting like the sauce she's been stirring. You're not going to lose me, Margaret, not unless you try really hard. What if I do something stupid? Then I'll call you an idiot and we'll work it out. What if the hotel fails? Then we'll start something else. What if I'm too old for you? Then I'll trade you in for a newer model. She grins. Kidding. You're stuck with me. That evening, after the guests are settled and the kitchen's clean, we sit on the front steps of the hotel. The Atlanta summer air is thick and humid, but it feels perfect. Stella? Yeah? I pulled a small velvet box from my pocket. This was my grandmother's. She stares at the ring, a simple gold band with a small diamond that catches the streetlight. Margaret, I know it's fast. I know we've only been together 8 months, and most of that was spent dodging bullets and federal agents. Margaret, but I also know that when I thought David might kill you, I realized I'd rather die than live without you. She takes the box with shaking hands. Are you proposing? I'm asking if you want to build something permanent with me, not just the hotel, us. She slips the ring onto her finger, and it fits perfectly, like it was meant to be there. Yes. Yes? Yes, you idiot. Yes to all of it. I kiss her on the front steps of our hotel, under the new sign that reads Magnolia Inn, Foster and Clark, proprietors. A few guests applaud from the upstairs windows, and Stella laughs against my lips. Mrs. Foster Clark has a nice ring to it, she says. We're not married yet. Details. A year later, we have the wedding reception in the hotel lobby. Elena officiates because she got ordained online just for us. Mr. Chen gives Stella away, and half of downtown Atlanta shows up to celebrate. You know what the best part is? Stella asks during our first dance. What? We never have to check out. I spin her around the lobby where we first met, where we first kissed, where we almost died, where we chose each other over and over again. The Magnolia Inn isn't just our business anymore, it's our home, our sanctuary, our proof that broken things can be beautiful if you're willing to do the work. I love you, Mrs. Foster Clark. I love you too, Mrs. Foster Clark. Outside, Atlanta hums with life and possibility. Inside, we dance in our lobby filled with friends and flowers, and the kind of happiness I never thought I deserved. Some stories end with running away. Ours ends with coming home,